Chandrayaan-3 was meant to be a triumph, a symbol of India's growing mastery in space exploration. It landed where no other nation had dared to go, the moon's shadowy and ancient South Pole. But after the images came back, after the first soil scans were transmitted to Earth, the celebration began to fade, replaced by silence, then whispers, and finally a warning. Join us on the enigmatic journey of why, as we delve into another mystery surrounding Michio Kaku. Chandrayaan-3's terrifying moon discovery confirms what we all feared. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is what happens when the most advanced rover ever sent to the moon uncovers a material that defies physics, and something even stranger lurking beneath the surface. Let's break down the impossible discovery that has shaken the global scientific community and forced one Nobel mind to say, "We are not ready." When India's space agency launched Chandrayaan-3, it wasn't just another lunar mission. It was a comeback, a direct successor to the failed Chandrayaan-2 landing attempt in 2019. This time, everything went right. The Vikram lander touched down with flawless precision near the moon's south pole, a region permanently cloaked in shadow, colder than Pluto, and untouched by any nation's probe until now. Why the South Pole? For decades, this region had been the holy grail of lunar science. Radar scans had hinted at ancient water ice, minerals locked in craters, and perhaps signs of a deeper mystery. But until now, no one had dared to land there. The terrain is treacherous, the light unreliable, the temperatures deadly. But ISRO did it. And with it, India joined an elite group of spacefaring nations. The mission's early data confirmed what scientists had hoped: frozen water, silicate-rich dust, and useful metals like magnesium and aluminum, a perfect recipe for future moon bases. But buried beneath those early headlines was a darker, more unsettling discovery, one that never made it to the press conferences. As the Pragyan rover rolled across the powdery regolith, it began scanning the moon's surface with state-of-the-art spectrometers. The goal: to identify the precise chemical makeup of the soil. But what it found left scientists in a state of disbelief. A substance never before seen in any known sample, lunar, terrestrial, or extraterrestrial. It didn't match any mineral in Earth's database. It didn't reflect light as it should. It seemed to absorb electromagnetic radiation, even bending it in unpredictable ways. One engineer described it as a sponge for energy. Michio Kaku called it a terrifying anomaly. Why? Because if this substance formed naturally, then it means our entire understanding of material science is wrong. But if it didn't form naturally, that means someone, or something, placed it there. This discovery alone would be enough to spark international crisis talks, but it was only the beginning. After the initial scans, ISRO activated Chandrayaan-3's ground-penetrating radar, designed to peer beneath the lunar crust. What it found sent shockwaves through mission control. Beneath the rover's wheels, several meters down, a massive hollow void was detected, but it wasn't random. The radar returns revealed geometric formations, straight lines, symmetrical angles, repeating grids. The early diagrams looked less like caves and more like blueprints. Kaku, after reviewing the scans, described them as metallic, organized, deliberate, and likely ancient. To make matters more disturbing, the void was massive, large enough to house a small city. And then came the heat. Instruments began picking up strange thermal fluctuations, rising and falling with no solar input. The moon, geologically dead for billions of years, was showing signs of internal energy. Could it be residual heat from unknown materials, a functioning system, or a still active artificial structure? For the first time, scientists began asking the unthinkable: did we just uncover an ancient alien base, or worse, a forgotten human one? In the days following the underground scans, the Pragyan rover began to behave erratically. It stopped responding to commands. It sent back corrupted data packets. Its movement, once steady, became unpredictable. ISRO officials attributed this to mechanical stress, but off the record, insiders were not convinced. One anonymous engineer claimed the rover's malfunctions began precisely when it passed over the deepest part of the anomaly. Another suggested the unknown material may have created electromagnetic interference, disrupting the rover's systems. And then came the silence. Pragyan stopped transmitting. This was not just a hardware failure. It was a mystery layered on a discovery layered on a warning. If what lies beneath the moon's south pole is ancient and still active, then every step we take may be triggering a system we do not understand. Michio Kaku has now called for a global coalition, urging that no nation act alone in exploring the anomaly. He warns, we may have just awakened something not meant to be touched. As news of Chandrayaan-3’s silence spread, governments around the world began paying close attention. The discovery of a mysterious substance, a geometric void, and the sudden blackout of the rover triggered international security protocols, usually reserved for nuclear events. Meanwhile, Chinese officials requested emergency access to ISRO's raw data logs, fearing that whatever had been found might affect Earth's electromagnetic balance. Some speculated that the anomaly might even be influencing communication satellites or Earth's magnetic field. In closed-door meetings, the word containment was used. This was no longer just a lunar research mission. It had become a planetary security concern. In a twist no one saw coming, a team of independent archaeologists and astrophysicists compared the radar scan geometries with ancient Vedic star maps. The results? The underground grid beneath the moon's south pole bore a strange resemblance to sacred geometrical patterns found in ancient Indian texts. Specifically, mandalas believed to encode cosmic knowledge. Could this be coincidence, mathematical convergence, or something much deeper? Dr. Rakesh Varma, a scholar of Sanskrit cosmology, suggested that the geometry found beneath the lunar surface matches the proportions of a symbolic gate described in the Rigveda, a portal that leads to the place beyond the dark sky. While mainstream science remains skeptical, the similarities are now fueling a growing movement among philosophers and physicists alike, that ancient civilizations may have known something about the moon's true nature, something we're only just now rediscovering. New data has begun to surface, reportedly smuggled from ISRO's internal network by anonymous insiders. These files suggest that samples analyzed by Pragyan contain not just unknown compounds, but materials with photonic properties never before observed. The substance retrieved, or scanned, before contact was lost appears to be photonic negative. It not only absorbs light across all visible and infrared spectra but may be capable of bending or even canceling electromagnetic fields around it. This behavior implies the material could be metastable, or even artificially engineered. One leaked description referred to it as optical dark matter. If confirmed, this would mean that the moon's south pole holds a material that interacts with light and energy in ways we previously thought impossible, a material that could, in theory, shield entire regions from detection or even cloak a structure from any kind of optical scan. If such technology exists, or existed, on the moon, then our understanding of physics is no longer theoretical. It's obsolete. With the world watching and Chandrayaan-3 now silent beneath the shadows, the most terrifying question is not what we found, but what happens next. What if the moon isn't just a lifeless rock, but a container, a vessel holding technology or information from a past so distant it predates known history? What if our probes, in their curiosity, have begun to unlock something that was never meant to be accessed again? What if the silence from Pragyan isn't a failure, but a warning? Michio Kaku's recent interview ended with a single chilling sentence: there are things buried in this universe we were never supposed to touch. And now we may have touched one. The world waits, but the moon remains silent. Chandrayaan-3 was supposed to be a scientific milestone, a symbol of progress, a flag planted not in arrogance but in hope. And yet what it uncovered may not be a triumph, but a threshold. Because what if the moon's south pole wasn't untouched by accident? What if it was avoided? What if, beneath its frozen craters and eternal shadows, something ancient waits, silent, buried, and watching? Not a message. Not a sign. But a question, will they come again? We built a machine. We sent it across space. And when it touched that place, we lost control. Not just of a rover, but of the narrative. And now, as global scientists fall silent, satellites recalibrate, and physicists issue warnings instead of theories, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. We were not the first to arrive. And we may not be the only ones watching. What do you believe Chandrayaan-3 really uncovered? Ancient technology, a natural anomaly, or a remnant from something not of this world? Thank you for joining us today on Why. Let us know your opinions in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the video on your screen for more mind-bending content. Keep waiting for another exciting Why adventure, and until then, stay curious and stay tuned. This is Why, signing off.